So, what if I told you that one tiny shift in the words you use every day could completely change your world? I'm not talking about over years or even months, but in a matter of days. Now, I know it sounds like magic, but it's really based on a principle that is so simple, yet so powerful, it can literally rewrite your entire story.
Our story starts in a pretty bleak place. Just picture this, a bird, totally alone in this huge, empty desert. And for her, this wasn't just a bad day or a bad week. Her karma, her destiny, was set for 7 entire lifetimes of this. A cycle of misery that seemed like it would just never, ever end.
And this misery was very, very real. I mean, she was sick, she had no feathers, so she was just trapped on the scorching hot sand. She couldn't fly to get away, couldn't find any food, and her only companion, well, it was her own voice, just constantly cursing her situation, making her feel more and more powerless with every single word she uttered. Then one day, a wise sage happened to be passing by. And the bird, in this moment of just complete desperation, she stops him and asks the one question that was eating her alive. How can I end this? When will my suffering finally be over? Well, the sage went and consulted his guru, and the news he got back was not good. The karmic verdict was in 7 more lifetimes of this exact same pain. You see, each problem was destined to just be the seed for the next one, creating this cruel, seemingly unbreakable cycle. On paper, there was just no way out. But the sage, he felt for this bird, and he pressed his guru, asking if there was anything at all that could be done. And it turns out there was. There was one key that could unlock her karmic prison, one little path out of all that suffering. And it came in the form of a simple, powerful mantra. This was the phrase the sage gave her. Bhagwan har cheez ke liye dhanyavad. In English, it's as simple as, God, thank you for everything. And the instruction was to repeat this constantly, waking up, going to sleep, in every single moment, no matter what was happening, just repeat the mantra. And what happened next is, well, it's pretty astonishing. Just 1 week later, the sage passed through that exact same area, but it wasn't a desert anymore. It was this lush green forest with a beautiful lake. And right there, singing her heart out, was the same bird, now totally healthy, vibrant, and covered in beautiful feathers. The transformation was just absolute. And this really brings us to the core of this whole thing. How? How in the world did a few words do what seemed karmically impossible? I promise you, this wasn't a magic trick. It was something way more accessible and, honestly, way more powerful than that. Okay, so here's the secret. It was all about the feeling. See, at first the bird was just saying the words, probably not believing them at all, but then, weak from thirst, she fell over onto the hot sand, and instead of her usual curse, the mantra just came out automatically. Thank you for everything. In that one instant, her reaction was different, and that new reaction created a brand new feeling, maybe just a tiny flicker of hope, and that feeling is what changed everything. So this is where the story stops being about a bird and starts being about us. Her old habit, it wasn't that unique. It's something we all do. It's the slow poison of complaint. Let's actually do a quick little thought experiment right now so you can see exactly how this works. Seriously, wherever you are, just take a look around you. I want you to actively look for something that's wrong, a flaw, an imperfection, anything that's just not quite right. Go ahead, find something. Maybe the room is a little too warm. Or maybe your phone feels kind of heavy in your hand. Look out the window. Is that person parked crooked? Or maybe you just catch a reflection and notice something you don't like. Just find that one little hook for negativity. Okay, you got something? Now, just for a second, hold that thought in your mind and really notice the feeling that comes with it. It's a little heavy, isn't it? Kind of draining. There's a tension there. That feeling, that's the poison. That feeling you just felt, that is what complaining really is. It's the habit of taking some temporary external problem and pulling it inside of us. We let it live in our minds, and it just slowly saps our energy, making our internal world feel negative, no matter what's actually happening on the outside. So, if complaining creates this negative feeling that keeps us stuck, it stands to reason that the way out is to cultivate a different kind of feeling. This is where we unlock the real engine for change. And it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, it's about actually generating a positive feeling. It really boils down to this super simple formula. We can have all the knowledge in the world. We can read all the self-help books, watch all the videos, but knowledge by itself doesn't create change. It's knowledge combined with feeling that actually sparks action. The feeling is the fuel in the engine.
The great teacher Swami Vivekananda put it perfectly. Feeling is life. Knowledge is kind of static, right? It's just data. But a feeling is alive. It's dynamic. It's the electrical current that lets us actually use what we know to transform our reality. The bird knew the mantra, but absolutely nothing changed until she finally felt it.
So why is this so hard for us? Well, because most of us are running on some really old programming. Mental habits that got wired into us when we were kids. We're taught to wait. We wait to get the promotion to feel successful. We wait for other people to praise us to feel worthy. We are fundamentally programmed to wait for a reason from the outside world before we allow ourselves to feel good on the inside. But here's the great news. We can break that programming. We can absolutely rewrite our own story. So let's get into a really simple, practical exercise that you can use to take back conscious control of your internal state, just like the bird did. Okay, here's a simple little practice to try. Every night before you go to sleep, I want you to do the opposite of what you'd expect. Make a list of everything that went wrong that day, the obstacles, the mistakes, the frustrations. Then, right next to each one, just write the words, thank you. And if you need to, you can add a reason, like, thank you for that traffic jam. It taught me a little more patience. Then just take a quick glance at that list the next morning. Now, the goal here isn't to pretend you enjoyed the bad things. It's to consciously retrain your automatic default reaction. You're shifting it from frustration over to gratitude. You are literally teaching your mind and your body that you are in control of the feeling, not the external event. And this all leads to the most important point of all. If you are waiting for the world to give you a reason to feel good, you are not creating your life. You're simply reacting to it. Real creation starts from the inside and works its way out. It starts with the feeling. The bird stopped waiting for the desert to become a forest. She started creating the feeling of gratitude first, and then the forest followed. The power to change your world isn't out there somewhere. It's right here inside of you, in the feeling you choose to generate right now. So, what will you choose to create today?